Hey, good afternoon, Mr. Mark Gassard. Elevate your profits. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing great. How about yourself, Tom?
Fantastic, just fantastic. Grateful for today, and always that's what I always like to say. Have people, what are you grateful for today? That's always like to start our meetings out like this, and before we get into our topic today. But yeah, I'm just grateful to be here again today.
Yes.
This moment's the most important moment of my life. And people say, what's significant about that? I'm alive, I'm here, and what I do from here will dictate what's going to happen in the future. So I'm so grateful for this moment to have you as a co-host tonight. So what are you grateful for?
Grateful for I was able to do all my tasks this weekend that, maybe they weren't fun to do. And I don't know if you've been following the heat wave that Georgia's had, but 98, close to 100, depending if you go downtown. So it's insane. But yeah, just grateful I had the health to do those things. As much as I didn't want to do them, I got them done. So there you go.
Yeah, we have heat, but nothing like what you're having. I think right now I'm looking at the temperature; it's like 82 degrees today,
Right.
and it's humid though. We've got a lot of rain, but
we would like it to rain. We heard rumbling, and but that doesn't do us any good. We want the actual wet stuff because we really do need it. When it gets that intense, you cut your grass, and like 3 days later, it starts yellowing up, and not a good thing. But got to do what you got to do out there, or the HOA will come chase you down, man. Want to know
I
what?
don't have to do any mowing. We live in a condo complex, and we got all the groundwork taken care of, and snow blowing, and all that type of stuff. And so it's just show it at home and take care of the inside of the house, and that's it. And deal with the issues that brings you. Just had telling Mark before we went live here is I had air conditioning go out last week, and they came out to services today. So it's sticker shock. I haven't had anybody work on my air conditioner since I've been here. It's 10 years old, and a couple small parts came away with almost $700 worth of service call and maintenance and labor and parts and that type of stuff. But hey, I got air conditioning now, so I'm grateful for that. Feels good. Got the humidity out of the house, and I'm grateful that I'm able to take care of the economics. There's today that goes out, the car breaks down, they're scrambling to try to figure out where to come up with $500. So, and that's one of the strategies I want to help people better understand is having plan Bs, have residual incomes to help offset those things that are going to come up in life that are unexpected, have those extra resources that are not, they just become a nuisance, not a disruptor. So they just become a nuisance. So
Beautiful.
That's part of what my mission has been, is to help people better understand how money works. Come from financial industry, financial coach, and then having strategies built in. And I believe having your own business gives you more leverage than anything else we have out there. The tax laws are designed to help entrepreneurs and businesses. So I'm so grateful for that. I've been in business for myself since 1983. Only a few stints in those years where I've actually worked for somebody else.
Man, that's
And when I have, I've says I can't wait to get out of here. So
that's
I work well in a structure, that accountability, but I like the work that's filling my goals and dreams, not somebody else's financial rewards. So
yeah,
it's selfish, but it's part of why I do what I do. So
very nice.
So Mark, like this morning we talked, and we don't have a guest tonight, so but
No.
again,
We're going to get one. It's a matter of getting times, dates, and places.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lose my cookies over, someone being here or not being here. I understand people, vacations are coming up. People got things they want to do now. In about 3 weeks, school starts around here. So how about that?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And if you don't believe
We
me,
probably got 6 or 8 weeks here in Wisconsin. That they'll start that week after Labor Day weekend, or that.
right.
Yeah, so
It's pretty
like
wild.
go.
It's pretty wild stuff. It could be worse, but in 3 weeks, let the games begin, as they say. And I feel for teachers because if it's this hot now, I know when they go back, it'll intensify a bit with the heat index.
Well, we got a guest that showed up here on one of my Facebook channels, Life Empowered Institute. Hey, just identify yourself. I'm going to ask Mark a question here in a second, and you can jump in and chime in yourself in the chat, and we'll be glad to see if we can answer them for you. Mark, you being a consumer, if you need to buy a product or a service, who would you rather buy your product or service from? A company that just sells a product or service, or somebody that maybe supports a local cause that you're associated with or mission? Who would you buy your product from?
I would probably go with somebody that I know and has a cause, as opposed to a humongous conglomerate.
Yeah.
Because Lord knows they're making enough.
Yeah.
And someone that I know and like.
Sure, trust.
Sure, absolutely.
Because with the Q Up fundraising as a new business entity is helping nonprofits have a vehicle to raise money with the Q streaming product. I've been in tune to what's going out there and listening to what other businesses are doing. We see a lot of commercials. A lot of times they say, buy our coffee, and a portion of the proceeds are going to go to support a cause that out there. That's a stimulus to say, you know what, I need coffee anyway.
Right.
I do support that cause. It could be Tunnel to Towers, or it could be any sort of these big national. So we see it more and more all the time that companies are associating themselves with social causes. And I remember years ago, you never wanted to get yourself associated with your business with politics and or faith-based stuff.
Yes.
We keep those isolated. But I believe that that's a wrong strategy in business. You want like-minded people to do business with that are going to support you, to become more loyal to you. So what they're finding, companies that incorporate, and I'm going to bring up a slide presentation here in a moment, is that 86% of the consumers would rather do business with a company or person that is sharing their cause, and that they know that that cause is going to be supported economically through that business, whether direct donation, whether a portion of the proceeds of a product get allocated to the cause. So that makes a lot of sense. Would you agree, Mark?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So tonight's presentations, we got a lot of people out there that are in business. Doesn't make any difference what type of business you're in. It could be a traditional brick and mortar business selling products, a service-based business, a coaching business, network marketing. A lot of network marketing companies have part of their proceeds go to a cause that they want to support.
Excuse me.
Within the organization, like ASEA supports some causes out there, and it just solidified my loyalty to the company, to knowing that it's not all about profits. You got to be profitable, but it's nice to have profits that you can give to a cause. Q Up fundraising is to help nonprofits raise money. Whether a person buys the Q Up streaming product or becomes a subscriber that way, or a nonprofit, I'm giving a 50% bonus. I covered this last week, a 50% bonus in the first 90 days, additional above and beyond the affiliate commissions that are out there. So I want to help people get off the ground, be able to support their causes, and be able to give. And I support 4 major causes that are important to me. Tunnels to Towers. That's a national nonprofit organization, supports veterans and first responders, those that have been injured, have sacrificed their lives or limbs and arms and limbs and that type of thing. They support those families, helping them build customized housing and that type of thing, take care of the mortgages for those that lost their loved one. Then St. Jude Hospital is another one that I support just because it's children that are afflicted, and helping those families get their child through that critical illness that's out there that they have. It could be cancer, it could be something else. And those families don't have to worry about paying a medical bill, housing, lodging, or anything whatsoever while their child's being treated. That's another cause. So those are two national causes that always have been dear to my heart, is veterans and supporting those who sacrificed more. And then, of course, children, and dealing with that issue of being ill and helping those families out. And then my two local causes that I support, on a quarterly basis, I'll be paying out equally. That 50% profits goes into a fund, and then I pay it out equally to support those causes. And the two local causes that I'm just sharing this with you is Kiwanis Club, which is a international program to support youth in high schools, and they support a lot of different things that within their high schools clubs, and that is Kiwanis Clubs. And the other one that I'm supporting is called SOFA, Saving Others for Archie. A friend of ours lost their son to opiate addiction and fentanyl overdose.
Oh, wow.
She started a foundation about 4 years ago now. That's maybe 5 years. They help bring awareness to the drug problem, support for families, drug addiction, recovery, those type of things. Puts on big events in our community, is in the parades, does some special fundraising. So I'm supporting that cause because it's a scourge in our society, is this drug problem. And so that's my two local. So I just like to share that with you. That's where my heart is. And I've been fortunate in business to have different levels of success. Like I shared with you before, my ultimate goal in life was to give legacy type giving to those causes. That part of my overall plan in life hasn't occurred, but that's why I came up with Q Up fundraising. Now I can help an organization put and implement a fundraising strategy to help support those causes that could generate a legacy type giving type of income. So those that are out there and associated with a nonprofit or know a nonprofit that needs help, I'd love to have that conversation, share what we're doing. At the end, I'll cover a little bit about the support that we give any nonprofit if they want to use our nonprofit strategy with Q Up. So just wanted to share that out there with everybody. Mark, what are some of your causes that are important to you?
I don't know. I'd have to say, really, working with youth, kids, probably because of what I do, all the way up to like 17 years of age, standing behind the 17 by 17 by 17 calling balls and strikes, or even being out in the field. I think it's kind of cool to be able to do that. And my son said he wants to umpire with me, so that should be interesting.
Cool. Yeah, that'd be fun. Being both of you have the same interest and
all the
each
way
other operate under those conditions of umpiring. It's not easy.
No,
I've seen umpires. I've seen parents and the audience pretty brutal at times to those that are umpiring and calling balls and strikes or whatever. When I had my youth sports photography business, parents would go off on coaches, go off on their players, go off on the umpires, and it's really a sad thing that people, so I know what you go through, Mark. I wouldn't want to be on your end. I don't have the temperament to deal with it. I'd probably pick a baseball bat up and retaliate. So,
hey, like last week, Gina and I were at dinner, and they know what you look like with your gear on or something. And this guy came up and to me at dinner and asked me, "Hey, aren't you the guy that umpired our game?" I think he was like had a 15U team, and I was like, "Oh my God, I wonder what I did." He said, "Oh, good job." I'm like, "Okay, thanks," but you just never know. And it's like anything else. You just got to be able to roll with it, not take it personal. Kind of what goes out there in the political arena these days, or whatever your job. Don't take things so personal. Even if you get, I don't want to say reprimanded, corrected, or somebody's trying to help you, just go with it, man. It's all good. It's not going to kill you. I think this is, since you asked me, and that's what we try and instill in kids, not to be so sensitive about everything. You don't go up there to strike out, and you don't go out there to do a job, excuse me for saying this, half-assed or not do it well. I don't think people that have a little initiative and pride in themselves, that's not what makes them tick. And then there are others that need help, and that's okay. Like doing what you're doing here, this is going to be interesting to talk. Everybody's like, what's Q Up fundraising? What is that? What's that all about? And, there are so many things out there. I can't even keep up with them now, Tom. I mean, from AI to it just goes to infinitum. I mean, it's incredible. I mean,
Yeah.
And sometimes you need to step back and say, hey man, I'm getting like overload and all this stuff. Like everybody's looking to monetize. And I'm all for that. But I think this is a cool way. It's a fundraising deal. So you are actually helping an organization. You are benefiting financially, but it's a little bit different approach. I feel, instead of like selling computers or programming or services or
cookies or car washes or
but there's an immediate gain to that too. I mean, when you see popcorn sales for Boy Scouts and cookie sales for Girl Scouts, car washes for sporting teams, I mean, I get all that. But yeah, I think what you're offering long term is a pretty cool thing.
Yeah. The strategy here is picking a product that you want to endorse to help support a fundraising. Number one, we get bombarded all the time from our local groups, whether it be Girl Scout cookies, all those things, our nephews, nieces, and stuff, grandkids, they all come to us, buy our cookies or buy a ticket to whatever. And that's all fine. But I looked at what would be a better strategy in a fundraising is find a product or service that everybody uses in your organization or in your community, the biggest majority.
Right.
Keep in mind, 124 million households have a television, at least one TV in their house. And nearly 90% of those are spending money already for their home entertainment through some sort of streaming platform. Right. And so if you can just reposition the dollars they're spending and have maybe a better product or a better service at a lower cost, it's a win for the consumer. It's a win for the nonprofit organization, because the way this company pays out its donation, it's an affiliate program. They get a residual passive income every month. So they endorse 100 people that sign up, they're going to get X dollars a month in and month out. And as they grow that and the referrals come in, they say, this is a really good service. And I'd like to subscribe. And people are going to subscribe if they really feel that they want to support your cause as well. So you've got all that working for you. So I could have set up a fundraising company and sold to traditional clients, asking people to spend more money for things they probably don't need or don't use on a regular basis. So I looked at that, and that I'm not a big TV guy. I haven't had my TV hooked up until recently when I had subscribed to Q. Now I see a little bit of what's going on in the political world. That's about the only thing that I really like. In sports, of course. This is going to save me a ton of money for me going down to the local pub to watch my Badger football this so I can stay home and not spend $60 on a weekend watching a football game, having a couple beers and a hamburger or whatever, which is not good for me anyway. So it's a win-win-win. But that's the reason I get back into watch it. I'm not going to be sitting here watching TV 4 or 5 hours a day. There's just certain things I'll watch and just want to be informed. I can get it here on my phone. I can get it on a tablet. I can get it on my computer for one subscription fee. So no contracts involved, $60 a month, about $700 a year, where the average family is already spending about $1,300. So I can almost cut that cost in half, give them a more robust family home entertainment package for less money. Right. They're not sacrificing anything. They're not just spending money they're not already spending. They're just repositioning those dollars. And if they're saving another $600, those are dollars that can go to the family and the family needs that they have, or they can give, the extra balance back to the nonprofit as well. So it's a wherever their heart is, they're going to be able to use that money, the savings anyway. So, but tonight, I just want to talk to those that are in business, whether you're in network marketing, whether you have a traditional business, consider putting where your cause is on your sleeve. Incorporate that in your business marketing strategies, because the numbers support you'll get more business, more loyal customers. Forbes has done research on it. Some other organizations worldwide have done research on it, because 86% of the consumers out there would rather do business with an entity that aligns with their values, whether it be political, faith-based, other causes.
Right.
If they feel good about, they're more apt to do business with you than the competitor in town. So consider that. Take a look, evaluate what's important to you, and see if you can align yourself and let your customers know what you want to support. Let them know it could be a product by itself, that if you buy XYZ product, 50% of the proceeds are going to go to this cause, or a coaching, or whatever the case is. You determine what you want to give up economically. Still got to be profitable. I know that me giving 50% of my residual income back is going to make me very profitable, because I already done my numbers. I know I've done my evaluations on a personal basis, what I can afford to give. And by doing that with the target numbers I want to have in my business plan, I can live well beyond that income at 50%, way beyond anything else I've ever done in the past. So it's not about greed. What am I going to do with an extra $2 million a year? It's not going to change my lifestyle. I'd rather give that $2 million a year to causes that people that need it more than I do, knowing that. So that's my mission. Yeah, I got to be profitable. I got needs here in my household to take care of. I've got long-term financial goals. But if I hit certain targets, it always comes down to how much is enough, right, Mark?
Yes, absolutely.
I call my critical mass is met, and I won't get into my business strategies and my economic strategies and where I'm at financially, but I've applied these techniques in my life, and I put myself in the top 3.5% of the income earners in this country, and that's not as big as you think it is, Mark. Less than 3.5% of the American people have a net worth of over $1 million. I can say that I'm in that 3.5. I'm over that. I've got passive income that comes in. So if I decide to want to go for a month traveling, I know when I get back, I'm going to have X amount of dollars in the bank account residually and passively. That is pretty good. My business still runs whether I'm here or not. And that's a strategy I learned a long time ago in 1983 in the financial services industry. Sell a product and or a service that you get paid today on the front end, and you get paid month after month, year after year. If the product gives high quality, delivers and fulfills a need, you're there to support it. It's a win-win. So that's been my strategy. I was fortunate to have that put in front of me in my business strategies, product strategies. And so everything I've done that has a passive residual income strategy, whether it be network marketing, affiliate. I was involved at A.L. Williams. Today it's Primerica. Those are network marketing companies selling a product that has a renewal feature built into it. So every month that they pay their premium, I get a piece of that in commission. So I like that type of work. I'd hate going out selling a piece of real estate. I'm out of business tomorrow if I don't have a listing or somebody to buy that property, right?
I hear you.
Get paid today on the front end. I know I'm going to get paid next week if I got a great product, great service, and give the consumer added value. It's a win. So let's talk a little bit. I'm going to open up my share my screen. I got put together a little slide deck. We just cover some basic principles to consider your business. If you want to talk more specifically about how you could use Q communications, Q streaming as a product and or service to support your fundraising, I'd love to have that conversation. Or if you're a nonprofit out there, hey, give me a shout. Let me run the numbers to you and let you know what type of support we're providing to help you have a successful fundraising campaign on the opportunity side. So I'm going to bring up my screen here. Just let me know if you can see everything, Mark.
All right. And nothing yet, but.
There we go. You press all the buttons. There we go.
And there it is.
There we are. Yeah, so Queue Up Fundraising. Established a company, a business to help nonprofits raise money by using a television entertainment service, a streaming service. I covered that 50% less than they normally are spending. So it's a win-win. So if nonprofits were to share this with their membership and their audience and their community, there's going to be a percentage they're going to enroll, and it'll give them passive residual income. So Queue Up Fundraising, everything I'm talking about is sort of around the queue. This I found today when I was putting together this little presentation. Adding a social cause to your business model may leave you with happier and more loyal customers and can help your company recruit talent and retain employees. Your social purpose gives workers a more personal connection to their work, and that it often changes how they do their job. So it's like if you like your boss, you're going to do better. If you like everything he does and supports that, you know that if the company has profits, they're going to support a local cause. You're a little more conscious of your efforts because you have something you want to help support as well. Unfortunately, a lot of employees today don't understand that if that company doesn't make profits because of your efforts, you don't have a job. So this puts a little more cause behind their efforts and their focus on performance. And anytime, Mark, you want to jump in, just start.
Sure. No, absolutely.
So the social causes, they can be local, they can be national, they could be global, they could be political, they could be faith-based, they could be some other cause, whatever is important to you. Give to profit, marketing strategy to build your business, support your community, and support your community as well. So this is what we're going to talk about today. There's step one, clarify the impact you want to make. Why do you want to give? Be clear on that. It goes back to some things that in your business strategy, the clearer you have a vision of the outcome that you seek, you're more apt to get it. So be clear. Get clear on your why. Why do you want to give? And clarify the impact you want to make in your community or the world. So a lot of things could be bigger than just your local community. That's the first thing, is getting clear on what you want and why. You want to align this goes beyond just this small entrepreneur. We're affected by world economics. And I won't get into politics and those type of things, but I believe if you align yourself with a bigger cause on a global basis and make your business, you can draw a bigger market to you. So align your business to global goals. And Mark, we can talk all day about those things. Some of them I would agree with and some I don't agree with. But and that's not for me here to judge, but consider and decide which. This came out of a report out of the Forbes. UN global suitability goals resonate with your desire and impact. That would probably come around this global warming issue and that type of thing. So those are different issues, but a lot of people are really passionate about it and they want to give and they want to support that. Hey, I'm all in favor for supporting that. I don't believe the government should be forcing us to support those things that through our taxation. I'd rather give freely on those causes. So that's a little bit about my position on that. So make it bigger than just your local community if possible. Step 3, define your business impact mission statement. You got to be clear on your mission statement. If you go to my website, I've given you my why statement, my personal initial statements in my website, so you understand where I'm coming from, and that holds me accountable in alignment with the things I do daily. Craft a concise impact statement you can immediately use in your marketing and align your business activities around it. How are you going to take your cause and wrap it around your product? You need to be open and honest with what you want to share with people and your why. Step number 4, decide the best strategy to implement. Well, marketing has many things. Are you going to use social media? Are you going to use your newsletter? Are you going to do flyers? Are you going to do radio, TV? Are you doing anything in your storefront or your business? Let people know, thank you for doing business. Part of your proceeds on the candy bars you bought today are going to go to support a cause. Are you going to do that with a flyer you put out, direct mail, all those different strategies? You got to figure out a strategy you want to get your message out there. You're already using many of those strategies in your business. Now just incorporate your cause around that and just recraft your mission and statement. Letting your consumer, letting your customer base know what you're doing with your profits on these causes. Measure impact effectively. When you see your numbers go up, you need to manage your numbers, which means you touch 10 people with a marketing impact. What's the conversion rate? What's the profitability? Know what you're doing right now. And then when you implement your marketing strategy, track your numbers and you start seeing those things rise up. How can you expand that marketing message to leverage that more effectively? So it comes down to real basic fundamental business practices. Know your numbers so you can refine and fine tune what's working and not working.
That's a good point.
It sort of leads to here. Q Communication is a company that provides the service for Q streaming platform. It's an affiliate program. It's not network marketing. An affiliate program is nothing more is if I referred the product to marketing users, I get paid a commission, a referral fee basically. And if Mark refers to somebody, that I get paid again. So it's a two-tiered level. It's basically anybody you refer to uses it. They're independent salespeople out sharing it. You get paid, they get paid. So it's the way the world works. Does Costco pay you when you refer them on their membership? No, they don't. Here, you're going to get paid when you refer somebody to the service. They see the value, they subscribe, you get paid. Your restaurants aren't going to do that for you. They may give you a discount coupon or something like that, but they're not going to pay you month in and month out for that subscription. So it's $59.99. I'm just talking a little bit about the Q product right now. It could be used for your own personal entity or become part of the Q Up fundraising team and cover what you get if you make that decision. So it's $59.99. No contracts. You can use it on five devices simultaneously. We covered this in the past that if I want to watch football, my wife wants to watch something else, and I have a family, they can watch whatever they want under one service agreement without having a contract for each one of those devices. And no contracts. $60 a month, basically. Could be set up for a fundraising. So if you join our team and just want to sell the product yourself to bring some passive residual income, it's a great opportunity. We're going to help and support you on how to get this product to the marketplace. Q has its own marketing resources already created. Videos, some of the images you see here are crafted. They're authorized to use in your marketing with codes and all the technology. So somebody clicks on your banner on the Facebook and they sign up, you get the commissions, that type of thing. So the technology there, Q is going to do a good job there. But if you become part of our as a nonprofit using this, we're going to be able to provide you all this resources from Q Communication. They have videos, the digital marketing resources I'm sharing, website content. So you have a website, you're going to say, hey, listen, this is our fundraising initiative. So we've created content for you that you just put up on your website with the links and appropriate connections there. Email content, email series of 5 to 6 letters that go out to your audience, your members, your community that's supporting you. We've created that. You don't have to create those. You just have to have a vehicle to deliver it to them with some sort of email delivery system. Newsletter content about your fundraising. And we also have administrative support. I'm not want to be an administrative support running the administrative side, setting up these systems behind the. I've got a virtual assistant, Aaron Ali, that would set it up for you for a small nominal VA fee. So we've got everything in place to have you have a very successful product that you use for raising money. And you could, just like I'm doing, any of my profits, whether you as a subscriber or a nonprofit, you're going to get paid a commission, but I'm going to add another 50% on it in the first 90 days. And so you've got a little fast start bonus, a little extra money in your pocket, and that's coming out of my pocket, not Q streaming. I just want to let people know that this is not a Q streaming financial reward commitment. This is strictly coming from my initiative. But Mark, that's
nice.
Putting your causes in your marketing strategy will, whether you're starting out new or seasoned business, you're going to draw more loyal people to you to support you and your causes because they're in alignment with it as well. They're willing to spend their money for those causes, extra causes.
That's a great idea.
So
awesome. That's
what I wanted to share tonight is, I'm sort of in that getting this thing off the ground and my objective is to have a team of 6 to 8 people that have strong affiliations with different vertical niches in the nonprofit sector to be part of the team. So if you're working faith-based, you have a strong desire to work in faith-based causes, social causes, even political causes. I'm not making a judgment of what the political cause is, whose it is, but you can use this as a fundraising opportunity for any sort of entity. Your local service organizations, your booster clubs, one of the areas I'm targeting right now is Future Business Leaders of America. These are high school kids that are taking early on in high school, implementing marketing and business strategies, start creating businesses while they're in high school. I think it's a great cause. So I'm marketing to them with this fundraising activity to help to support them. And they can take it on and say, listen, let's take this business marketing strategy on as a business and put it to work for themselves, their school, their cause, or whatever the case may be. So I'm really excited about the opportunity that's out there. 124 million families have TVs. Nearly 90% of those are spending money already for those services. Would it make sense to at least look at it, see if I could save some money and without reducing the quality of my entertainment package? If I can get the same or more for less money, why wouldn't you? I call it a no-brainer, right, Mark?
Absolutely. Yeah, the thing that how many TVs did you say? How many people?
124 million families have TVs.
And isn't it like the average of 3 per household or something? Or
I would say easily. Then you got your phone, your tablets, and commuters. Anything with screens on it. So, and the average person is spending an average 4.5 to 5 hours a day on a device watching something. It could be YouTube videos, it could be movies, it could be the news, it could be sports, it could be whatever else is out there in the entertainment sector, music, video music, and all that type of stuff. So,
right. That's incredible.
That's what I want to share with you tonight, everybody. So,
well, thank you, Tom. I think if you're interested, anybody that's listening to this, reach out to the man here to the left of me as I look at the screen, and he will enlighten you as to how this process works. For $60, that's pretty reasonable to join streaming program, because I know for a fact around here you're paying a lot more than $60 a month.
So you figure you got people have Sling, and then they have Netflix, and they have this, and they have, before you know it, they're spending $200 to $300 a month.
Yes.
Wouldn't make a lot of sense to be able to have comparable amount of contact, thousands of channels, local and national channels to watch, movies. 50,000 movies are in the library. All your past sitcoms are there as well. So that I've never looked into that much. There's some old sitcoms I'd like to watch again when growing up that I enjoyed. So,
that's
but
amazing.
If you want to become an affiliate, there's no additional cost. You just have to be a subscriber of the service. You can go to thomasginn.myqstreaming.com/apply, and they'll sign you up as an affiliate. Great training. Download the app and you're ready to go. Anything that has a smart TV or Fire Stick has an app that you download, and you're up and running. So your computer is pretty easy. It's straightforward. But got great customer service, so I don't have to support people that are, some people are pretty savvy on apps and integrating the two. Myself, I struggle with it a little bit just because my age, but I don't have a 15-year-old running around to help me out. But Q has great customer support and service. You can call them up and they'll walk you right through the process.
Very nice.
That's how you get involved as a nonprofit. As an independent sales associate, you can use this product to support. Let your people know that you want to support XYZ cause. That if you subscribe to this service, portion of that monthly subscription is going to go to the nonprofit. And if you want to give part of your profits up above and beyond, that's up to you. So that's all it takes right there.
So that's pretty easy.
Yeah.
And Tom, can you tell me a little bit about the training?
About the what?
The training. You said they have training, or is that something you do, or you can go on and?
The customer support, the product support, they have videos and all that stuff in the support how to do everything. As a consumer, how to download your app, how to use the materials. Q has some great marketing resources there, videos that are, you put the link out to your social media, it's tied to you. So if somebody enrolls tomorrow or in the future, it's linked to you, and those commissions come to you directly.
Gotcha.
Simple process. So you want to close out with anything else, Mark?
I would, anybody that, I hate to use this term, but I'll say go-giver. Anybody that's looking, though, to promote a cause, or could be youth sports, could be high school, could be, VFW. I mean, we could go through the whole gamut. Wounded Warriors may want to take a look at this. Something to consider to
there's an unlimited amount of nonprofits. There's 1.5 million nonprofit organizations in the United States. Some are institutional, some are what I call the corporate nonprofits. I really want to focus on the small local causes that probably bring more value. Every dollar gets to work easier, quicker on a local, smaller cause than some of these big national, because they're marketing, they're advertising, you got big salaries to pay and so on and so forth. But I like to support those things. I know that it's close to 100% of the dollars that are being raised go to the cause. That's the criteria that I put in place before I give.
That's great.
Well, I want to thank Robert for jumping on here. He was here on earlier. Did he make any comments?
Yes, he did.
Okay. Thanks, Robert, for joining us again.
He said hello, and I asked him how is O Canada, and he said he's doing well. So,
all right. Well, my friend, we are done for this evening. I am done anyway.
Got it. Tom, thank you again for sharing this. It's
my pleasure.
Good stuff.
And I'm going to put this up here at the last screen, how to apply to be an independent sales associate or a nonprofit. Just fill it out and you're ready to go. Handle your transaction and you're enrolled and ready to watch and share.
Nice.
Put this up again.
There it is. Yeah, you've got it. And if you want,
all right. Well, everybody, God bless everybody. I'm grateful for today, grateful for this opportunity.
Thank you again, Tom.
You got it, bud.